This is The Warning.
Good morning, everybody. It's Steve Schmidt from Wilmington, North Carolina, and behind me is one of the mightiest warships ever built in the history of the United States Navy, United States ship, North Carolina, the mighty battleship, a veteran of the Atlantic and Pacific theaters of the Second World War. If you look out over my left shoulder, you can see in the distance there the battle stars and also the Japanese flags from when it was engaged in combat, the prizes that the mighty North Carolina claimed. Here in Wilmington, North Carolina, the Marines were celebrating the 250th anniversary, the birthday of one of the most important institutions in the history of the United States, the United States Marine Corps. It's an institution created by the Continental Congress before the United States was created, just like the Navy, just like the Army. Institutions that helped bring the United States into existence. The first commander of the Continental Army, George Washington. The first president of the United States, George Washington, a man who walked away from power. And that's what the issue is that we have to talk about. It's the use of power. In the United States, because of a lot of factors, indifference, hypocrisy, the American people gave, with 49.5% of the vote, lawful power to Donald Trump. They made him president of the United States. He took the oath and was endowed with constitutional power. That we always understood in America, the president is not a king. At the beginning, John Adams talked about all of the adornments for the title. George Washington shut him down. He said, Mr. President would do. When you look at Trump and his walk along the portico connecting the Oval Office and the residence of the White House, with all the gilded crap he superglued to the wall to the delight of the Saudi tyrant, you can see the evidence of the desecrations, but have an appreciation they won't be permanent. Nothing is. Donald Trump was given power as a constitutional chief executive in a republic with two co-equal branches of government. He has limited power for a limited time. There is no king. There is no Caesar in America. In America, the law is the Constitution, and the Constitution says that we are a government of the people, by the people, for the people. We are a government constituted by a choice of the sovereign, the people. The people of the United States have rights. And those rights include the right to the freedom of speech, the freedom of conscience, the freedom of religion. What unites us as a people, as Americans, what the young men went out and fought and died for aboard that vessel during a supreme test between liberty and the darkness, was a proposition that freedom must endure. And though the journey has been long and difficult, the side that has prevailed and that we cannot back up from is the side that believes that all men and women are created equal, endowed by a creator with inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This idea must be defended at all costs. This concept of self-government. And so, one of the problems we have in the country is the Schumercratic caucus of feckless geriatrics that have capitulated and compromised with Trump to the edge of an abyss. And below them is some of the finest Democrats there's been in 3 generations. And among them are the 6 that signed a letter about the necessity as a matter of law, of honor, and moral principle that orders passed down by an immoral command, meaning Trump and Hegseth, that says lower a weapon and shoot a fellow American because they're an enemy as an illegal order. Martha McCallum is a blow-dried, not too smart Fox News, and she came up against Jason Crow, who is a veteran of the 75th Ranger Regiment, a combat veteran, an Army Ranger, and the motto of the Rangers, of course, are Rangers lead the way. And Martha McCallum reveals herself as both a nitwit and a person of the utmost shallowness. And what Martha McCallum starts spouting off in pure pablum is that, oh, I believe in the military and this and that and yada, 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 all the Fox News performative, empty-suited BS. And Jason Crow talks about the intelligence of the American soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, who understand that they are not killers for hire. They are not mercenaries. They are the shield of a republic who serve no man but a constitution, a higher cause than a man. And what do we know about Donald Trump? Donald Trump has said that our cities are burning under siege from imaginary terrorists. And yet, amongst the radical right extremists, amongst the red hat fascists, that for us, not enough evidence to be alarmed. Not enough to invent a constant, continuing, perpetual Reichstag fire. Not enough to imitate the Fuhrer's rhetoric when it came to the supposed transgressions of Poland against the Reich that necessitated the Nazi German invasion of Poland. Not enough. Donald Trump can lie. His vice president can lie about Haitians eating pets. We can see the scapegoating. We can see the easiest targets in society targeted. Everything is the fault of someone else. Always. Always. That person, different. skin, religion, faith, and divided by the algorithm, put at each other's throats. The force that protects all of us, made from all of us, a whole that salutes not a party flag, not a rainbow flag, only one flag, the American flag, one flag, one people. And Donald Trump, we know, has been in the presence of the most senior leaders of our military and asked of them to order their men to kill us. Stephen Miller wanted it. In fact, what he wanted was the obliteration of boats of migrants off of the Pacific coast. And he was told in the Oval Office to shut the fuck up, Stephen, by General Milley, who talked about the code of the American soldier. Now, all of those words about honor are fine, but I've been to My Lai. And I've been to the spot where an American major named Hugh Thompson ordered his helicopter lowered and the crew on it pointed their weapons at American soldiers who became murderers. And an American officer commanding a helicopter gunship with his crew pointing his weapons at America's soldiers who had become murderers came to define at some level the madness of a moment when things break and discipline cracks. There is no Department of War. Under statute, the Department of Defense is the name of the institution that Pete Hegseth tragically and sorrily commands, without the respect, without the affection of the men that it's his honor to lead. He's a reality TV show star, a psychologically addled adult child who can't keep his zipper up, can't keep the champagne off his lips, and can't keep the stupid out of his mouth.